everyone, welcome to another edition of Off the Cuff. Here's Bosco. Hi. You always got to get in, don't you? Okay. Well, last week was a pretty good one. I posted a video about my display at the National Night Out, which is a nationwide event that brings together communities with like EMTs and police and emergency services. The one in Efta had like 50 different stands and all kinds of things, and I set up a display of my cuffs. I'd like to thank everybody for watching and all of your great feedback, and I promised that I would answer a few questions. Okay, first of all, now I'll be reading the questions from here, okay? Let's see. I assume all kinds of people were interested. What were the reactions? Were they surprised to see so much differences in the handcuffs? What really interested and what mainly got their focus? I think that it was people were really surprised at the wide variety of handcuff designs through the ages. That was the big thing. That was pretty much what everybody agreed on. That they had no idea, the general public, that there were so many different types of handcuffs out there. Okay, were people eager to try some of the cuffs, and did I let them? No, I didn't let anybody try on the cuffs. I did let people pick up the heavyweight Clajusos, though, just to see the weight of them. That was one that they were really interested in, the really unusual ones. And I had a pair of Boer Wars with me that I had locked, and the plug 8s. And I brought them along because I'd be able to hand them to people while they were locked, and they were just commenting on the size and the weight. Okay, did I get any naughty reactions? Well, not more than I normally do. Every time I go to a flea market and I ask people if they have handcuffs, they always say either, oh no, they're still on my wife or husband, or no, they're locked around the bedpost still, things like that. So I didn't really get too many people making those kind of jokes because of the way I set up the display. It was more of a historical thing. And then there was a question about former and current law enforcement and what they thought about all the handcuffs. A lot of them had the same reaction. They were, even the retired cops had no idea that there were so many different variations through the age. For example, the bean cuffs and the Adams and things like that, they'd never seen anything like that. The one thing the local cops enjoyed was the bean cuffs that were inscribed Lancaster County Sheriff's Office, so they did enjoy them. Did the display lead to different conversations with the current and retired cops? A few of them did recognize the Iron Claw and the towers from stories and reminiscence about, when they first started out years ago and how some of the cops that were ready to retire still had some of the older equipment. The biggest bummer was that nobody said, oh, by the way, I have a whole milk crate full of these in the basement you can have. No, nobody had any handcuffs. That was the one thing that did surprise me, that nobody had handcuffs at home. Even the retired cops, they either turned them in or they handed them to somebody just coming in if they were retiring. You know what I mean? Like they would do for, I don't know, I guess other equipment that, belonged to the police department itself. Okay, well, I hope I answered all your questions. I tried my best, but right now I'm really excited because if you guys have been watching my channel, you know that recently I've had, hello, Bosco. Hello, Bean. Hello, Mr. Bean. Look at how jealous they are. You know that I've had a dry spell as far as getting handcuffs is concerned. There just hasn't been that many at the flea market, anywhere I've been able to buy them. I did pick up a few over the summer, but not anything, hooray. That might have changed because I just got these in the mail today. Now, I'm going to open them in a second. We're going to do an unboxing, but I also got something else related to handcuffs on the same day, and I was going to do a different video on this, okay? This one happens to be something to add to my Escape Artist postcard collection. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, I do videos on stuff that I collect, like, magic books and regular books and toys, vintage toys, and magician ephemera. And I recently got this. Let's see, we have to be careful. To add to my postcard collection. So yeah, I want to open the handcuffs like really bad, but I figured, you know what? I got to do everything all at once because they all came on the same day and I really didn't expect it. Okay, we got to watch. There's some tape in here. Careful. Be careful. Oh my gosh. gosh. Now, it says that he was a ventriloquist and a magician, too. I forget if he was actually an escape artist or not, but let's see. Okay, they did a heck of a job taping this, so I'm going to be careful. Because there's plastic on the inside, but you don't want to bend it whatsoever. Creases cause tears. Okay, there's a piece of tape here. I think I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, now I have specialized sleeves for postcards and photographs and whatnot. Okay, now, here's the thing on the front. It just looks like a regular dude between two ladies who are very happy to be there. But on the back, it says, Professor W.C. Clayton, the world's greatest ventriloquist, and magician. Elmore, January 31st, 1885. Assisted by Miss Nellie Cohn, the renowned second sight artist. I don't know what it says. Will commence their season at Chicago, 1885. So I don't know who this is, but I'm going to research it because I probably have something about them in my library or in my collection. It's gotten to the point where I can't store all this stuff in my head anymore. That on the back. And if you know who this is, please drop me a line in the comments section. Obviously, you guys know I love reading your comments as long as they're, okay. Now comes the part that I'm a bit nervous for, because these cuffs, like I said, I haven't gotten anything old or, any old pairs of cuffs. All I've been able to find is like modern Smith & Wesson and Hyatts and things like that, which you've seen in the videos. But this is one of those instances where it could be something great or it could be something common. I really don't know, because the photographs, I really couldn't tell. So I took a gamble on these cuffs, and they just came today, and we're going to open them up. Because no matter what, even if they're, nothing special, they're still going to be special to me because they're the oldest ones I've been able to get this summer so far. We still have a few weeks to go. Okay, so we're going to use my Scottish Derrick to open it. Here we go. Now I saw these and I said, this could be something or it could be nothing, but we'll see. Ooh, nice. Notice I open up from the bottom. I always do that. Okay, very cool. Foam packaging. And here they are. Oh boy. Okay, now, all right, I'm not sure. Okay, all right. I just got a little nervous. Now, I have to examine them. The jury's going to be out on this for a little bit, but here's my thoughts, okay? All right, I have several tower bottom keys. And at first glance, that's what these look like. It even has the one keyhole offset, okay? But when I saw these things, do you know why I thought maybe they're not tower bottom keys? Like I said, I don't know yet. If you do, please let me know. Because of the twisted link chain, which is kind of what you see on Phelps. So when I first saw these, I thought, I wonder if these could be the missing link between Phelps and Towers. And I'm not sure. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to have to get my jeweler's loop for the stamping. And I'm going to have to measure this against a few of my Towers. I don't have a Phelps, but I do have plenty of Towers bottom keys and Towers first models and all that. Oh, this is a little,
a little frozen there. Oh, all right, that's gonna need some work. Okay, so here we go, and it has a, this is obviously not an original key, but I do have original tower bottom key keys because I have the cuffs and the leg irons. Okay, so, see, in the photos, I thought there was a little bit more roundness to certain parts and other characteristics of the Phelps, but now I'm not so sure. But I do not have a pair of Towers bottom keys with this chain, so even if they're not with, you know, even if they're not a missing link, they're still cool. And there's still something I didn't have, so okay, I'm happy. Tell you what though, they have good weight to them. I don't see any breakage in the links, so it looks like the twisted links might be factory. So let me just do a little, ooh, that's what I like though about buying old cuffs, is because the part that was in the lock case is always shiny. Isn't that cool? I love that. Okay, so I'll be back in a minute and we will investigate further, because I'm not sure about this stamping method either. The script just looks wrong, if you know what I mean. Well, you'll see. Hang on. Okay, I never ever do this, but I stopped filming last night because I wanted to research these cuffs and then get back to you. I started off the video, I know, wondering what these were, if they were some sort of Towers Phelps hybrid. I discovered a few things and made some notes. And I'm going to show you close-ups of these compared to early Towers at the end of the video. But they have a thicker clevis than the Towers. This has 8 notches. Some of my Towers have 6. Some have 8. It has a thicker lock case and a longer bow, but even with this bottom key, here's the strangest part. All the Towers that I have that are marked, okay, the patent date, when they are marked, of course, would be right along here, along the lock case itself. These have the patent date on the bow itself, okay? Not only that, but the patent dates on this, June 17th, 1862, July 17th, 1866. That's a Phelps patent. I looked up, you know, some photos and whatnot. Found some with the twisted links, some without. But, I mean, it seems to me like these might be a Phelps. So I might have a pair of Phelps in my collection. As far as keyhole placement, I did see a couple of variations. So please let me know in the comments if you have a pair of Phelps. I know a lot of folks that do. A lot of my friends do. But I figured this way, you know, you guys could submit any info you have, you know what I mean, all at once. It would be cool. So I really appreciate it. So it looks like my gamble paid off. I mean, either way, I'm happy because they're cool. And, you know, but if they're a Phelps, cross that off the list. Yes. So, all right, folks. Well, I'm going to show you some close-ups. And like I said, I never interrupt a video to do research, but I had to sleep on it. So last night I filmed most of it. Then I spent a few hours doing, you know, going through my books, going through photos, whatnot, and patent information and everything like that. And I just had to, it was like late, so I went to sleep. And I thought, instead of just erasing what I already shot, let this serve as an example that you're doing. You know, it's an ongoing learning process being a collector. Hi, Bosco. Well, it looks like this guy wants to play. So Thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you again next time.